Greetings, fellow anime gamers, and once again, I'm coming at you with a not Vita video. Yeah, if you guys remember back about, let's say about a month ago or so, I had mentioned that I kind of wanted to do a few little tweaks to this channel. I want to keep it focused on Vita mainly, that's for sure. That's never going to change, don't ever worry about that. However, I thought to myself, you know what? I've really been enjoying a lot of the discussions I've been having with many of you guys in the comment sections. I've really gotten to know you, your taste, and your likes, dislikes, and how you guys personally feel about the Vita. You guys are already becoming a little family to me, and I really do mean that. So I thought to myself, you know what, maybe I'll start doing sort of like vlog videos of such, maybe every Sunday or so. I'm not sure how often I'm going to do this. I'll just might throw in an extra fourth bonus video in there for you guys just for the heck of it. Kind of trying to do something similar to a podcast. And if you guys don't want to listen to this, then I understand. If you're just here strictly for the PlayStation Vita stuff, which I wouldn't blame you, then by all means, you don't have to watch these. Don't feel obligated. But I thought it would be a fun little way just for me to kind of talk about myself, my likes, and just to kind of get to know me. So the first thing I want to talk about on this discussion, and I'm not even sure what I'm going to title it, insert placeholder right here. Maybe I'll call it VitaCast or something, I don't know. I'll probably forget the name. I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to remember a name, and then as soon as I think of the name and I'm going to try and type it in, I'm going to forget the name when I get on a computer. That's just always the way it happens with me. But I wanted to do this because it's just kind of shorter videos and things that don't take long to edit, and because also YouTube's new algorithm wants 4,000 watch hours from their viewers, which, as you guys might know, my PlayStation Vita news videos and unboxing videos and whatnot, they're kind of on the shorter side, so I'm trying to think of other things I can think of to try and just get a little bit more watch time in. And as I'm babbling here, I'm going to go ahead and just move on with the discussion, which is Toys R Us. I want to be a Toys R Us kid. Yeah, does anybody remember that song, or am I just showing my age? Back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. As many of you probably already know, Toys R Us is going to be officially closing down about 20% of its stores in the United States, and that's quite a lot. I think they said that equals out to 100 and some, maybe almost 200. That's really sad for me. I haven't even heard yet if the Toys R Us here in my area is going to be closing down, my childhood one, but I wouldn't be surprised just because, yeah, the last time I went in there, which I'm going to say was about 2 years ago or so, there was nobody there, and this was on a weekend. I remember I went on a Saturday looking for, I think it was Sonic the Hedgehog toys. Yeah, don't judge me. When I went in, I saw nothing. There was like maybe 3 or 4 people in there, and then, Toys R Us is a huge store, and I think it's just pretty much a market shift. A lot of kids these days, they're not growing up playing toys and whatnot. They're on their iPads, they're on their iPhones, they're at home playing video games, which they should be playing their Vita, by the way, but, no judge here. And I honestly feel it's an end of an era. It's kind of the same way I felt when Blockbuster Video closed down. I was super bummed when they closed my child one here by my house, and it really got to me, man. It really did. And I had all the fond memories there. I still have my old Blockbuster Video card. And I remember Toys R Us was especially special to me because of Power Rangers toys. You remember the old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers toys? I remember when I first walked into a Toys R Us back, when I must have been like, I'm gonna say 8 years old, and they had Power Ranger toys there. And I had no clue really what they were. I don't even know if I had watched the first episode. I think maybe I did actually watch the first episode. And I thought to myself, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I remember those, those action figures based off of that, superhero live action show that comes out on Fox Kids. I didn't really think much of it at the time. And there was tons and tons of them on the aisles. Well, about, I'm going to say probably no more than maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that, it just became a huge surge in popularity, and people were just looking for Power Rangers toys everywhere. Well, people as in, kids. I guess it could be some adults too, Again, no judging. But yeah, and at that point is when the whole Power Ranger craze came in, which was back in, I want to say, what was it, 1990, 1991, something like that. You could not find a Power Ranger toy anywhere, and I mean anywhere. Nothing. You couldn't find any of the villains, you couldn't find any of the Power Rangers, any of the accessories, nothing. It was a huge craze. It was definitely the hot toy for that year, and it lasted that way for, I'm gonna say, probably at least 1 or 2 years. And I still remember I walked into Toys R Us asking if they had any Power Rangers toys, and they had nothing. And I remember I was kicking myself because I thought no more than 2 weeks ago did I enter into Toys R Us, and they had tons upon tons of them in there, and now there was nothing. But what's funny about that is that later on, I ended up going to a Walmart back, a few months later, looking for Power Rangers toys. Of course, I went in there. They had nothing. My childhood dreams were shattered. The employees didn't care. I get it. But I went into the toy department, and you guys know how they have like those grocery baskets full of different toys or odds and ends. And I remember just going through it because I thought, let me see, maybe I'll get lucky. And I went through it, and at the bottom, holy cow, I found a Black Ranger with a motorcycle. I still remember it like it was only yesterday, and I think I still have the box too with the Power Ranger, probably in my attic, collecting dust, or the cat might have peed on it, I don't know. But it was like the best thing ever. I remember thinking to myself, holy cow, I can't believe it. And it's funny because when I first took it out of the box, I wasn't even sure that the Power Ranger himself was in there. I saw the Black Ranger riding on the motorcycle, but I was thinking, this is probably more along the lines of an accessory. I don't think it's the actual figure. It's probably just the bike. But at that point, I was such a huge Power Ranger fan that I figured, hey, it's better than nothing. So I got it, and on the way home, I opened it, and lo and behold, there was a figure in there. I actually had the Black Ranger figure inside the box, and that was like the best night ever, and probably a night I'll always remember to this day, just because it was such a hallmark moment for me. Yeah, I know I didn't have a very exciting childhood. From that point on, I was just a huge Power Ranger fan, and I was playing with that thing day after day, and I just loved it. And it was kind of sad because then as the years went on, the Power Ranger toys were a little bit more common. I remember getting a giant Red Ranger, Power Ranger, and the Green Ranger, which was always my favorite. But then, I mean, whose favorite is he not? And it was a special time in my childhood, the way I think a lot of people do. Does anybody remember going to Toys R Us though, and buying video games was very, very different back then? They didn't have them in shelves behind a glass case like they do nowadays, like a typical electronics store does. Back then, they had these, these kind of plastic flaps with a picture of the cover art of the game, and you would lift it up and I'd say the price tag on it. And also, they would have little papers. The number of papers in there, I think they had some kind of barcode on there. The number of papers in there indicated how much stock of the game they had. So if you lifted up the little tag and saw there was no papers under there, that means they were sold out. And there was something special about this. I found out a lot of people didn't like this back in the day, which I guess I can kind of get. It was kind of like an unnecessary hoop to jump over, but I thought it was awesome. It almost felt like you picked up your ticket, and it's like, were you worthy enough to actually pick up the game? I know it's cheesy, but that's literally the way I felt. And I remember walking to the cash register, my mom buying it for me there, for my birthday or Christmas, whatever. No, I guess it was my birthday. And I remember that they kept all the games in this sort of back storage area, but it was behind a glass, sort of a glass case with an actual person behind it. And you would just bring your receipt there, and then they would go in the back and get you your game. And I don't know, it's just something special about that. I know that for some people they felt like it was unnecessary, which I guess to a point it kind of was. Maybe Toys R Us did it just to kind of not be overrun with stock everywhere and just to kind of save space in their store. But for me, it was just something special, and I'm sad to see that they took that out years ago. I don't even know how long it's been. It probably was sometime in the late 90s that they took that out, but for me, that was just something awesome. And yeah, Toys R Us, is something about Toys R Us too. Has anyone ever gone into Toys R Us and noticed it has that particular smell to it? It has that real kind of plasticky smell. I don't know what it is. It just always has that special memory for me. So every time I go in there, I think, 1989 childhood. I still remember one of the games in particular that I bought there. It was Toe Jam and Earl Panic on Funkatron for the Sega Genesis. Why I remember that, I don't know. But I still remember when I bought the game, I was like, oh my gosh, I get to keep this game. I'm not renting it, I'm actually keeping it forever. Because back then, as a kid, you rented games mostly, you didn't buy them. So anyway, guys, that's kind of my story with Toys R Us, my my little childhood memories that I have with it. I know everybody's is different. Let me know, did you guys kind of like this sort of vlog style video, or do you think it's kind of pointless? It all depends on you, how you guys react to it. If it's something that you'd like to see more of in the future, let me know. If it's something that you just kind of find boring, then I'll understand. I kind of wanted to make this in more of the form of a podcast, just to kind of see how that would go. So anyway, let me know how you guys feel about this. And also, share any of your Toys R Us memories with me down in the comments below. And as always, anime gamers, we must forge our own path. Anything is possible. Thanks for watching.